Okay, so apparently everything in your pantry is trying to kill you. Cereal, poison. Oats, these are suspicious. And even canned beans are getting a side eye on TikTok. They're all toxic, according to the weird dancing girl at the grocery store. But what if I told you that processed food is not the villain we've made it out to be? I'm probably gonna rile some people up and lose a few subscribers, but hear me out. Processed food is a useless term. Technically, if you cook, chop, freeze, ferment, congrats, you've processed food. Quick oats, processed. Tofu, hummus, processed, all processed. Maple syrup, that's processed. It's all stuff that I currently have in my fridge or pantry. So let's start with some of the actual meanings. Minimally processed would be like your sliced frozen banana, frozen spinach, canned tomatoes. Moderately processed would be plant-based milks, nut butters, hummus. Ultra processed would be like your chips, sodas, snack cakes, and cheese curls. You should be able to see that there's a difference between a processed frozen blueberry and mystery meat Hot Pockets. Now I can already imagine the comments. People are typing right now, you know that's not what they're talking about when they say processed foods. But is it? I see it all the time on shorts or Instagram reels. Some guy in a white coat with doctor in his handle, and then you come to find out that he actually has his doctoral degree in wood growth studies, spouting about how you can't eat this jar of pickles because there's 6 ingredients in it. Then holding the jar up proudly, scanning it with his dumb app while claiming that they're toxic. So where did this all come from? Well, in the 70s and 80s, we started seeing a spike in obesity, diabetes, heart disease. And a lot of that was being tied to the rise in ultra-processed foods. We saw it in food marketing, sugar lobby cover-ups, and the news yelling about MSG. Suddenly, all processed foods became the enemy. Basically, when people are using the term processed, what they usually mean is foods that are incredibly convenient, taste really good, and come in a bright, shiny wrapper. But in my opinion, the problem isn't the processing, it's that we're eating too much of the wrong foods far too often. What it should be about is energy density, not demonizing convenience. If you eat nothing but ultra-processed foods, sure, you're going to feel awful. And you're going to be more easily convinced by fad diets like the carnivore diet. But that's not the fault of processing, that's the fault of a broken food culture. Recently in the US, we banned red dye number 3. That's fantastic. I have no problem with getting rid of dyes from foods. But let's talk about foods that red dye number 3 was used in. Mostly it was in candy, baked goods, snacks like desserts, cakes. It was in strawberry flavored ice creams, fruit named sodas, and gummy snacks. So great, we removed a harmful ingredient from junk food. It must not be junk food anymore. Wrong. The entire culture around food really needs to change, and I'm doing my best to be a good shepherd of that. I might have made some mistakes in the past, but I'm really working towards a better understanding of what that means. Anyone with influence that's spouting health advice really should take a step back and stop demonizing convenience. We should be really talking about energy density. It's not these foods that are toxic. They're not toxic. They're just not the best choice to eat for dinner 7 nights a week. The mindset that changed my health and how I lost over 100 pounds and got into the best shape of my life was not about reducing toxic foods. It was just about having a better, cleaner, healthier mindset when it comes to food. And I want to talk about that more in a moment, but first I want to talk about something else that helped me have a better, cleaner, healthier mindset, and that's better sleep because of today's sponsor. If you've been watching, you've seen me talking about Miracle Made bed sheets for over a year now. It's the ad where I'm laying in bed talking about how great my sleep is. I always say if you wake up too hot or too cold, I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made bed sheets. Well, over the year, because of Miracle Made bed sheets, I've been telling you how great my sleep is. And recently, I finally got a sleep tracker. And now I not only can tell you I feel like I'm sleeping better, I'm actually sleeping better. My sleep score has improved dramatically every time I put Miracle Made bed sheets on my bed. Miracle Made sheets are inspired by NASA and use silver-infused fabrics that are temperature regulating, so you could sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. And the infused silver actually helps prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, so it leaves your sheets feeling cleaner and fresher 3 times longer than other sheets. Along with being luxuriously comfortable, they feel nice, if not nicer, than sheets used in some 5-star 5-star hotels without the high price tag of other luxury brands. So gang, it's time to upgrade your sleep score. Go to trymiracle.com/SauceStache to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you could save over 40%. And if you use promo code SauceStache at checkout, you'll get a free 3-piece towel set and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/SauceStache and use code SauceStache to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/SauceStache to treat yourself. Miracle, thanks for sponsoring today's video, the amazing night's sleep, and upgrading my sleep score. Okay, we're back. I recently made a video about frozen foods and their benefits. They're convenient, usually cheaper, sometimes taste better, sometimes worse. But nutritionally, they have always been given a side eye because they come in a plastic bag. But what if they were actually nutritionally superior? Because sometimes they are. Ultra-processed foods get the worst press, but some of them are engineered to be helpful. If someone switched from eating fast food 5 nights a week, I lived that life. I was there at one point in my life. And they switched from eating that to Beyond Burgers with a few veggies a couple of nights a week. Is that really worse? Now here's what I believe you want to watch out for. It's not about demonizing the convenience, because every now and then convenient foods should be there for the convenience. But understand that they are typically easier to overeat. Sugar cereals, chips, sodas, snacks, they're super palatable. They light up your brain and send signals of enjoyment. Your brain tells you to keep going and keep consuming more. So how did I change my mindset to get into the best health of my life? And I'm still improving. Learning balance. Oat milk is not evil, canned lentils are not going to kill you, and natural doesn't always mean good. Cooking at home more often is going to be better. You have to learn that you don't always have to make an elaborate meal. Sometimes the food might be more plain than what you want, but you can make a meal that will kick off the nutritional needs of a night, sometimes far quicker, sometimes far cheaper than your frozen 15-minute microwave meal. In that same video where I talked about the frozen foods, I threw together a quick meal in maybe 10 minutes, and that was a fantastic dinner, to be honest. So it can still be convenient and it can still be cost effective. But I also do allow myself to slam down the Uncrustable every now and then when I'm in a hurry. I don't demonize it, I don't make it bad, it's not a cheat day. I've just decided that I'm not gonna do that every single day. And if I get into a situation where I feel like I'm in a hurry every day and the Uncrustable has to become a thing that is needed every day, I try to figure out something that is more convenient and better that I can have. But if I do end up feeling like I am in a hurry every day and the Uncrustable does seem like that's the solution, well, I need to work on another better solution. There's other options out there. Sometimes that means grabbing an apple. I used to eat food that was very tasty, super convenient, 90% of the time. Quick foods were my main staple. And then 10% of the time, I would focus on having a healthy meal. My big switch was flipping that number around. Health conscious most of the time. But if I'm in the mood for ice cream, I'm gonna go have some ice cream. I just decided to have 1 scoop on a small cone or a small cup instead of having 2 or 3 different flavors topped with all of the different sugary additives. But if I did want to add some of those sugary additives, I'll do that. You just can't do it every day. I grew up in a house that always had snack foods. Making those snack foods super accessible makes them easy to just grab at any moment. You're almost removing the choice when you have them around at all times. So by simply just removing the ultra-processed snack foods from my home, made it less convenient and made me choose other options far more often. Having fresh and dried fruits, nuts, and whole grain cereals. Now, as far as the toxic Avengers all over social media, the people screaming about all the foods that are toxic, here's my rule of thumb. If they have you download an app, they're probably full of crap. Just remember that. Nothing screams nutrition like a man standing in Whole Foods, scanning a bottle of oat milk, holding it like it's radioactive. Those people are full of it. So even though in the past I said I was giving up on fake meats, I did. I don't eat them every day, but I still have one every now and then if I feel like it. That's the difference. A Beyond Burger is not going to poison you. Probably not going to be great for you to have it every day, but neither is eating a cheeseburger every day. And this is where I'm going to end. I'm off of my writing. I saw a post on social media about somebody who said, they spent 7 days in Italy and they lost weight, and it has to be the problem with the food here in America. And it's no, that's not the issue. The issue is you're probably eating more whole foods, you're probably eating less junk foods, and you're probably walking around a heck of a lot more. Monica and I were just in Boston. We both lost weight because we were walking 20,000 steps a day. or more. So you could still have processed foods. You could still eat the convenient foods. Just decide to eat less of them. Move more and be more active, and you will be healthier. I think we are all wrong about blaming everything on processed foods. That's kind of my point.